Many college activities across KELOLAND have come to a halt, with classes now online due to COVID-19. However, in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Lauren Solich introduces you to members of one student organization who are still working to do their part for the university and its host city.
Tuesday nights at the Al Newharth Media Center are usually busy nights for student journalists who work for the Volant, the student newspaper at the University of South Dakota. But right now, the newsroom is quiet because of COVID-19, though that doesn't mean that the student journalists aren't still working hard to bring news to both the USD community and the Vermilion community.
I don't think there was ever really an option not to do news for us when we first got the announcement. So the Volant actually broke the news on Twitter that spring break was being extended for a week, and then we also broke the news about classes being online for the rest of the year.
Normally, the Volant staff puts together a 10-page newspaper Tuesday nights to distribute the next day to the campus and town. After spring break, they printed one more paper to have something relevant on the stands before switching completely to an e-edition of the paper. Now, the staff is working remotely to provide the news from wherever they are.
Our news pages are being designed from Iowa City, and our sports pages are being designed from Watertown.
Lexi Kurzman, the editor-in-chief of the paper, and Sarah Cappiello, the managing editor, say it was important to them to continue their work as journalists.
This kind of just turned everything upside down for us, and we're a student newspaper, but we are like a main source of news for Vermilion. So it would have been really inconvenient and like really bad for us to just completely stop production altogether.
Of course, they are also students who now have to find a balance between remote school and remote work. The Volant advisor, Kyle Miller, says this is a life-changing experience for the students.
You know, our students are not only balancing their student media work, but classes, and, you know, if they're away from friends and family, and just seeing how much dedication they put into this, and how they're taking the initiative and they're taking the drive to do daily updates, to do daily stories. For me as an advisor, I don't think words can really express how proud I am, you know, for everything that they're doing during this time.
Most students are back at home now to continue work, but Kurzman, Cappiello, and a couple other student media members made the decision to stay in Vermilion.
And I had a lot of conversations with my mom and my dad, and I kind of had to fight them on this one. They really did want me to stay home, but they knew that this was like a really important responsibility of mine.
Both Kurzman and Cappiello are also hopeful that continuing their work in student publications right now will help them later on down the road.
We're all going to school to become journalists, and what great experience is it to be able to say that as a college journalist we were able to produce content during a global pandemic. I think there's nothing better. There's no better way to learn how to be a journalist than getting experience, and every journalist is relearning how to work remotely, so we're just trying to stick with them.
The Volant isn't the only media outlet still putting out content for the USD community. Coyote News, their student television broadcast organization, and Coyote Radio, their student radio organization, have been keeping their social media accounts active with news updates.
And I think just the memories of banding together, and no matter if you're hundreds of miles apart, it's still working as a team, still working as a group, and still being able to produce content. Looking back on this when the pandemic is over and saying, you know, we were able to cover things on a daily and weekly basis, and we told the stories and we got the jobs done. I think it's going to be something that our students are going to remember for a very, very long time.
Student journalists at Augustana University and South Dakota State University are also working during COVID-19 to keep their campus communities informed. With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Lauren Solich.
The Volant put out their last e-edition paper of the semester this week and will work to produce a physical summer issue of their paper.